Hello friends, in this video I'm going to discuss the topic curve tracing. First I will discuss curve tracing of curves when equation of curve is given in Cartesian form. Now in order to trace a curve, there are certain steps to follow. Let us understand these steps one by one in detail. First is symmetry. Find out if the curve is symmetrical about any line. This step further has sub-steps. First is the curve f of xy is equal to 0 is symmetrical about x-axis if all powers of y in the equation of given curve are even. That is, if equation of curve is of the form f of xy is same as f of x minus y. That means if equation of curve remains unchanged when y is replaced by minus y throughout the equation, then such a symmetry is called reflexive symmetry about x-axis. For example, consider the curve y square is equal to x. As we know, this is equation of parabola. Here in this equation, y has even power. That means it is symmetric with respect to x-axis. Now, in order to trace this curve, it is enough to first sketch the graph above x-axis, then take its reflection about x-axis in this way. If we trace this curve by giving values to x, when x is 0, y is 0. When x is 1, y is plus minus 1. We are getting the graph of this form only. Here it is x is 1, y is plus minus 1 here and here. And it passes through origin. Curve is of this form only. This is reflexive symmetry about x-axis. In order to trace the curve having symmetric about x-axis, then it is enough to sketch the curve above x-axis, then take its reflection with respect to x-axis. This is reflexive symmetry about x-axis. Second, we have reflexive symmetry with respect to y-axis. The curve f of xy is equal to 0 is symmetric about y-axis if all powers of x in the equation of given curve are even. That is, equation remains unchanged when x is replaced by minus x throughout the equation. Such a symmetry is called reflective symmetry about y-axis. Again, if I consider the curve as x square is equal to y, this is again an equation of parabola. Here, in this equation, power of x is even. That means it is symmetric about y-axis. Then, for tracing such a curve, it is enough to sketch the curve on the right hand side of the y and take its reflection about y-axis. Okay, if I give values to x and y, 0, 0, 1, 1, minus 1, then 1. Then this is 0 and 1 and minus 1. This is 1. We are getting the graph of this form. In order to trace a curve of this form, it is enough to sketch the portion of the graph on the right hand side of the y and then take its reflection with respect to y-axis. That is on the left hand side of the y. This is reflective symmetry about y-axis. Third type is if a curve is symmetric with respect to both the axes. That means it has even power of x also and even power in y also. Then it is enough to first sketch the portion of the graph in first quadrant, then take its reflection in y-axis and then again its reflection in x-axis. For example, if I consider the curve as x square plus y square is equal to 1. It is nothing but a unit circle passing through the origin. Now, in order to trace a curve having symmetry with respect to both the axes, it is enough to first sketch the curve in first quadrant. This is first quadrant. This is y-axis. This is x-axis. Then take its reflection in y-axis, left hand side of y, and then taking its reflection with respect to x-axis, that is below the x-axis. We are getting the curve like this. This is symmetric with respect to both the axes. We have to first sketch the curve in the portion of the graph in first quadrant, then its reflection in y-axis, then taking its reflection in the x-axis. This is symmetric with respect to both the axes. Next type of symmetry is symmetrical about the line y is equal to x. The curve is symmetrical about the line y is equal to x if the equation of the given curve remains unaltered or unchanged on interchanging x and y. Again, I consider the unit circle equation x square plus y square is equal to 1. On replacing x by y and y by x, equation is unchanged. Such a curve can be obtained by, this is my y is equal to x, this is x-axis and this is y-axis. Such a curve can be obtained by sketching the graph on one side of this line y is equal to x, and then taking its reflection about the line y is equal to x. In this way also we can sketch the curve. This is symmetrical about the line y is equal to x. In such a case, plot the graph or portion of the graph on one side of the line y is equal to x, then taking its reflection about the line y is equal to x, we obtain the complete graph. This is symmetrical about the line y is equal to x. Next step is origin. Find out if the origin lies on the curve. Means origin satisfies the curve equation or not. If it does, then find out the tangent or tangents at such points, means origin, and in case origin is a multiple point, then find out its nature. That is, if it is a cusp or a node or a conjugate point. Next step, we have to find this. Next is intersection with the coordinate axis. Find out the points of intersection of the curve with the coordinate axis and then find the tangent at such points. Okay, this is my third step. Next step is find asymptotes of the curve. Then in the next step, we have to find the asymptotes of the curve. Okay. Next is region. Next part is region. Find out the region of the plane in which no part of the curve lies. To determine such regions, we solve the equation for y in terms of x or vice versa, and then check out where the curve lies, or check out the portion where curve does not lie. For example, if I consider the curve y square into 2a minus x is equal to x cube, and a given to us as positive. A is positive, that is given to us. Now on solving this, I get y is equal to plus minus x square root of x by 2a minus x. This is square root. Okay. Now it is clear from this equation that x cannot be negative. In that case, we will not have a real root. And in case x is greater than 2a, then in that case also we are getting imaginary roots, not a real one. Okay. It is clear that we cannot have x is less than 0 or x is greater than 2a. In both cases, we are getting imaginary roots. Since a is positive, it is given to us. Therefore, graph must lie in the region bounded by the lines x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 2a. Means this is x is equal to 2a. Okay, that means now my graph does not lie when x is less than 0. here and when x is greater than 2a. That means graph will lie only in this portion. Means bounded by the lines x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 2a. My graph will lie only in this portion, not below here, not on the left hand side of this or right hand side of 2a. This is where my graph will lie. This is how we have to find the region where graph lies or where graph does not lies. Second is, if I take curve to be y into 1 plus x square is equal to 1. On solving this, I get y is equal to 1 upon 1 plus x square. Now it is clear that whatever the value of x, y is positive and also less than 1. Okay, whatever x may be, y is positive always and also y is less than or equal to 1. Y is positive and less than or equal to 1 also. Since this is denominator is more than 1, that means y is less than or equal to 1, and also since x is whatever I give values negative or positive, x square will be positive always. That means y is positive always and always less than or equal to 1. That means graph will lie above x-axis. Y is positive, that is clear, and also y is less than or equal to 1. This is my line, y is equal to 1. That means, and y is positive, that means graph will lie between these lines, y is equal to 0 and y is equal to 1. This is the line, this is the portion where the graph will lie. Okay, this is the region. Graph will lie only in this, bounded by the lines y is equal to 0 and y is equal to 1. This is how we have to find the region where my graph lies or where my graph does not lie. Okay, this is the region part. Next step is solving the equation. If possible, solve the equation of given curve for y in terms of x and observe how y varies as x varies from minus infinity to infinity. We have to check the behavior of x in terms of y or y in terms of x. This is solving the equation. Next is critical points. Find out the values of x at which dy by dx is 0. At such points, y generally changes its character from increasing function of x to a decreasing function of x or vice versa. Means we have to find the points where the function is increasing or where the function is decreasing, where it is having a maximum value and where it is having a minimum value. We have to find the critical points. Next and the last step is points of inflection. Find out the points of inflection, that is d2y by dx square is equal to 0. And region of convexity and concavity of the region. As we have already discussed, we have to find the points of inflection, and points of inflection are obtained by solving this equation. d2y by dx square is equal to 0. When d2y by dx square is positive, we have concave upwards, and when it is less than 0, we have concave downwards. And at the point 0, we have a point of inflection. We have to find points of inflection. On solving these 8 steps, on following these 8 steps, we are able to trace our given curve. In most of the cases, we are able to trace our curve at this point also, at 7th point. We will we have no need to find point of inflection. We are able to trace our curve at that step also. Okay, now we consider the examples so that these steps will be clear. Okay, now let us consider example. First, consider examples when equations are of the form y is equal to fx. First is trace the curve y is equal to x cube minus 12x minus 16. First step to follow is symmetry. Now, since powers of y are not even and also powers of x are also not even, that means no symmetry with respect to x-axis or y-axis. Also, equation is not unaltered when y is replaced by x or x is replaced by y. That means no symmetry with respect to y is equal to x. No symmetry with respect to the line y is equal to x also. Therefore, we have no symmetry. We have no symmetry of any type. Okay. Second step is origin. Now on taking y to 0 and x to be 0, we are getting 0 is equal to, let x is equal to y is equal to 0. We are getting 0 is equal to minus 16. That means does not satisfies. X is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. Therefore, does not pass through. Therefore, does not pass through origin. Does not pass through origin. This is our second step. Third is intersection with coordinate axis. Intersection with coordinate axis means x-axis and y-axis. Now, on taking y to be 0, this gives x cube minus 12x minus 16 is equal to 0. On solving this, I get x is equal to minus 2, and 4. These are the three roots of this equation. And on taking x to be 0, y is equal to minus 16. That means points of intersection with coordinate axis are therefore minus 2, 0, 4, 0 and 0 minus 16 are the points of intersection with coordinate axis, are points of intersection with coordinate axis. Okay, now we have to find the tangents at all these points. Okay, now first tangent at minus 2, 0. For this I have to substitute. X is equal to capital X minus 2 and y is equal to y plus 0 in the equation. This will give us y is equal to x minus 2 whole cube minus 12 into x minus 2 minus 16. Okay. Now on solving this, we get x cube minus 6x square. Now equation of tangent will be obtained by equating to 0 the lowest degree term in this equation. That means equation of tangent is y is equal to 0 and that is y is equal to 0, which is x-axis. X-axis is the tangent at the point minus 2, 0. Okay. Now tangent at the point 4, 0 and tangent at the point 0 minus 16. First at the point 4, 0, tangent at the point 4, 0. Now substituting x is equal to x plus 4 and y is equal to y plus 0 in given equation. This gives us y is equal to x plus 4 whole cube minus 12 x plus 4 minus 16. On simplifying this, we have x cube plus 12x square plus 36x. Now equating to 0 the lowest degree term. Tangent is y minus 36x is equal to 0. That is y minus 36 x minus 4 is equal to 0. That is y is equal to 36x minus 144. This is the equation of tangent at the point 4, 0. Next we have to find tangent at the point 0 minus 16. Replacing by this in the equation, we get y minus 16 is equal to x cube minus 12x minus 16. On equating to 0, lowest degree term, tangent is y plus 12x is equal to 0. That is y plus 16 plus 12x is equal to 0. that is 12x minus 5 is equal to minus 16. 12x plus 5 is equal to minus 16. This is this equation of tangent at the point 0 minus 16. Okay. Next step is, fourth is asymptotes. Now highest degree in the equation is 3. That means we have to start with phi 3m, and phi 3m is 1. So no equation, no asymptote. Okay, we have a constant, therefore no asymptote. Here highest degree is x cube, and we have to replace x by 1 and y by m in order to find the m. Okay, and here phi 3m is 1, therefore we are getting a constant, no equation in in m, therefore we have no asymptote. Fifth point is, we have to find the region. We have to find the region. In the fifth step, we have to find region. Now, clearly y is defined for every value of x. Clearly y is defined for every real value of x. For every real value of x. Okay. So, no condition on the region. Everywhere y is defined. Okay. Next step, we have to find the critical values. Now, in my sixth step, we have to find the critical values. Sixth is critical values. Critical points. Critical points. For this, we have to find the derivative. First derivative. Now, y is equal to x cube minus 12x minus 16. Now, derivative dy by dx is 3x square minus 12. Okay. Now, this is 3 into x square minus 4. Now, clearly, dy by dx is positive, means function is increasing if x square minus 4 is greater than 0. That is, if x is less than minus 2 or x is greater than 2. If my x is less than minus 2 or x is greater than 2, in both the cases, I am getting dy by dx is positive. Therefore, y is strictly increasing in the interval when x is less than minus 2, means minus infinity minus 2, and when x is greater than 2 means in the interval to infinity. In these two intervals, y is strictly increasing. Second, dy by dx is less than 0 if x square minus 4 is less than 0. That is, if x lies between minus 2 and 2. Okay. Therefore, y is strictly decreasing in the interval minus 2 and 2. Okay. Now, next is, we have to find the maximum and the minimum value. Now, dy by dx is equal to 0 if x is equal to plus minus 2. Now, we have to check the nature of d2y by dx square at the point plus 2 and minus 2. Now, d2y by dx square is equal to 6x. From here, 6x. Now, at x is equal to 2, d2y by dx square is 12, which is positive. That means minimum. Therefore, minimum at 2. And minimum value is on substituting x is equal to 2 in the given equation. Y is equal to 2 cube minus 24 minus 16. That means minimum value is 8 minus 24 minus 16. This is minus 32. This is the minimum value at the point x is equal to 2. Also, when x is equal to minus 2, now at x is equal to minus 2, d2y by dx square is equal to minus 12, which is less than 0. That means maximum value, and maximum value is y is equal to minus 2 whole cube minus 12 minus 2 minus 16. That is, this is minus 8 plus 24 minus 16, that is 0. Therefore, maximum value is 0 and minimum value is minus 32. Next is points of inflection. Next step is points of inflection. Points of inflection. For this, d2y by dx square, which is 6x, it is equal to 0 when x is 0. This is point of inflection at the point x is equal to 0. Now clearly d2y by dx square, which is 6x, is positive if x is positive. Therefore curve is concave upwards in 0 infinity, x is greater than 0, and d2y by dx square is less than 0 if x is less than 0. Therefore, curve is concave downwards in the interval minus infinity 0. Okay, and at the point when x is 0, and point of inflection is when x is 0, y is equal to minus 16. That means at the point 0 minus 16, curve changes its nature from concave upwards to concave downwards. This is point of inflection at the point this. Okay. Now from all these tangents and asymptotes and maximum value, minimum value, from all these information, we can now trace our curve like this. This is my x-axis, this is my y-axis. Okay, now first thing is my tangent. My tangent is, we have found tangent at the point minus 2, 0. Okay, now let us plot this graph. Points are, this is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Here take minus 1, minus 2 and minus 16 somewhere here, and minus 32 somewhere here. Okay, this is my y-axis, this is my x-axis. Now points of intersection with coordinate axis. First point is this, second point is this, and this is my third point with coordinate axis. Okay, these are the points. Now at this point, my tangent at this point minus 2, 0, tangent is x-axis. That means curve will be of this form, Okay, and now at this point, this is point of inflection. Okay, changes its nature like this. Okay, and now this is my minimum value. Okay, and this is my 0 is maximum value. Okay, therefore curve will be of this form. Here it is concave downwards. This is my point of inflection. This is my minimum value. 32 is my minimum value. Okay, at the point 2. Okay, and now this is my point of intersection. Therefore, curve will be like this. Curve will be like this. Here it is concave downwards. Here it is concave upwards. This is my point of inflection. This is my minimum value. This is my maximum value. These are the information we have collected from the 7 steps. Therefore, curve is of this form. This is how we have to trace a curve. Like this we have to trace a curve. Okay. Now that's it for this video. In my next video, I'm going to discuss some more problems on curve tracing when equation of a curve is given in Cartesian form. If you have any queries or any suggestions, please write to me in comment box. Thank you.